Frenzzz, yes, I purchased some new Suqqu products, but the reason why I did, as I was working on my affiliate links, I wanted to pull a few from Liberty London, another retailer for Suqqu, in addition to Cult Beauty, Selfridges, and Harrods. But as I was perusing, I saw that Liberty London was holding a promotion. 20% off Suqqu products. I couldn't believe it. I died. I added lots to basket initially, but I whittled it down. I saw the total and I was like, Alicia, don't do it. Initially, I had wanted the Sakura Quartz highlighter, the one that released with the white opal highlighter. I think this was back in September before the winter collection dropped. Of course, I wanted the 2 limited edition Suqqu Moisture Glaze shades with the sparklies that released in the most recent holiday drop. 105 Akanezome, okay? The red blush. It took everything I had not to apply this yesterday when it arrived, but we'll swatch this and compare it to my other red tone blushes from the Hourglass Lotus palette, as well as my other red tone blushes in my Suqqu collection. But I did manage to pick up, going back to the Suqqu Glaze holiday shades, they sold out. I died inside a little bit because I didn't act quick enough, and of course those were on everyone else's radar, and of course you got 20% off. I understood immediately while they flew off the shelves, but I managed to grab the other limited edition shade that released in the winter collection, the one with number 11, Urumicha, I think. This, I'll swatch it again, this Mauve brown, which, you know what? Let me grab the press kits for these shade descriptions. And then lastly, I picked up a replacement for my Suqqu Brow Pencil in Sand 03 because I adore that color and I finished it. I finished that pencil to the bone, but I had brown and mauve on my radar. So I just picked up the refills because I already have the brow pencil. And if you're new to Suqqu Brow products, they revamped their line back in September, re-released a few products, and one of them being the refillable pencil, where you buy the pencil once and then as many refills thereafter, which was appealing to me and why I decided to stick with the pencil, the Suqqu pencil specifically, and not buy the Benefit one anymore because I didn't want to continually buy a new pencil each and every time. Okay, Suit September winter collection, here we go. My apologies. Oh, sorry, the Miyabi collection. Let me go to the Miyabi collection. The winter collection had the Fluid Glow Lippy, which, oh my gosh, this color is gorgeous. But let me roll it back because yes, the Miyabi collection was the one that had the Suqqu Moisture Glaze, the limited edition one shade. The 2024 Autumn Winter Miyabi collection, which one of my favorites thus far. Originally, they released with 3 limited shades. Number 11, Urumicha, the milk brown, which I just showed here on the swatch. And I picked up 12, Akidoke, the cherry brown, which interesting that they name it cherry brown. You'll see the swatch, right? But it is quite light. It's all like a beige on me. I still have my eye on the limited edition holiday shades that are still in stock on Selfridges, but ooh, the shipping is what gets me. And the shipping was quite high for Liberty London. I don't know why before I thought it was less or I could fulfill a reasonable purchase threshold to be eligible for free shipping, but that was not the case. I paid $20 for shipping as well as like $10 in taxes. So I guess it all kind of amounted to the same if these products weren't on sale. It's fine. I'll be fine. Let's go through these swatches first and then we'll pull in closer for the actual application. I want to get into this blush and of course we have to apply the eyebrows. Let me fluff these up for heaven's sake because the hairs are just sitting low. Again, number 105 Akanezome, which is, I think they described it to be like a berry shade of some sort. Let's see here. A deep red with a gradient of calm pink. And 104, which, my apologies, on this press kit it says Toru, but on Selfridges it's Haruhi. So I don't know what the name is, but number is 104 for sure. 104 is the one I requested from the brand Suqqu Europe, and this one is described to be a deep coral with a brownish undertone, which I absolutely adored. But now we gotta get into 105. Are you ready? This is the blurring blush formula. It's a matte finish. Oh my goodness. Oh Oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. It is like a red. I don't know why I thought it would be like a wine red, but that's why I wanted it, because it was hard to tell from the photos. Here now, 104. I'm just gonna say 104. The deep coral with a brownish undertone. My goodness. So these are the two shades from the recent global holiday collection. Now to go into, I have here, for kicks, we could look at the winter blush, which is just a lot more muted. It's almost like a pink brown. This shade for me was one of the best I've ever tried, and I just thought wildly unique and unlike anything I have in my collection. Now we go in with Holiday 22 Suyabe. This was an interesting one and one of my favorites in the pure color blush formula. And next we have Winter 23 in 145, again in the pure color blush formula, which is more of a demi matte. This has, I think, more brown. Yeah, this is more of like an orange red, and this is like a true red, and I think having that pink gradient in the powder influences the color to appear as such. And for kicks, I had to pull out pre-holiday 22 Momiji Gari, which is more of a warmer, definitely, because let me see here. Yeah, well, interesting. This is pre-holiday. I forgot what the inspiration was behind this collection. This definitely is a lot warmer, like more of an orangey type of a red. And you can see that makes 105 appear a lot more muted. And here it is. It is time to compare 105 to the red blush found in the holiday limited edition Hourglass lineup for their ambient lighting face palettes. Specifically, this shade is called Red Zero or Redo. This is a baked formula and completely different from the blurring blush formula found in the Suqqu powder. I think this might be a little more, I'm going to swatch it right next to 105. Oh, that has a little more berry. 105 is more muted. So if you're wondering, okay, there you go. Gotta get into the Lippies now. 11 from the Miyabi collection. I'll just swatch new section here. This is a burn, don't mind that. This is in the milk brown shade, and number 12, which they call cherry brown, I thought interesting, but we'll swatch right next to number 11. So they call that cherry brown. You see it's more of like a pink brown, and you will also recognize when I swatch that on the lips. Going now into these brow pencil swatches. Right now I forgot, is this 01? The khaki color. So 01 is the khaki shade. My apologies, I'm doing it way back here because my lens focus is going haywire. Let me swatch that again so you can see it better. It has a green tinge to it, and here you actually have the number on the refill, so don't need to worry about keeping the box. 04, I believe, is the mauve. The mauve is interesting. I think this is the one I want to try today, actually. I feel this will be great for redheads or anyone with urban type of a hair color, but I thought it would be unique to have like that mauve shading on the brow. Next, what do we have here? Number 2, which is the brown. And I was curious because I didn't know if Suqqu would go cool brown, warm brown, you know what I mean? So this is their brown color, and I like it a lot. I think it's, neutral enough for my brow shade. And lastly is Sand, which is a repurchase. I did request Sand when Suqqu Europe first reached out about their brow drop and needed to buy Sand again because I use this each and every time I did my brows. And it'll be interesting to see how Sand now looks compared to brown. So Sand is more of like a gray brown. Brown is like right in the middle brown. You have here the khaki shade. Interesting, when set up against the other brow shades, it doesn't look as green, but I don't know. I love the khaki shade on my brows. I think it does something. It gives shading. They don't look oddly olive. They don't look weird. I just appreciate the unique color. So just so you can see, to change the refill, you just screw it out, and let me put in mauve. I gotta try the mauve. I've been dying to ever since, again, my package arrived yesterday. I just need to know how this looks like, but we get to find out together. So with that said, thank you for looking at all the swatches with me, all the comparisons. Now it's time to apply the swatches on the face. Going in with Mauve. Ooh, I'm excited. Again, I adore the Suqqu pencil. If this is one of my or your first videos watching of me, I went on a whole spiel as to why I crowned the Suqqu pencil #1 over my beloved Benefit Goof Proof, which I've used for years. Oh yeah, you get to see a little bit of the Mauve. That's interesting. I'm not mad at it actually. I think it's fun. It's like a different tinge, but I think Mauve is probably meant for those with red hair, reddish brown type of hair. But I think that's what's so versatile about all these shades from the Suqqu brow lineup is that they could kind of fit in with whatever maybe. Maybe this would be great with blonde hair. Obviously, that will probably be the sand color, or I think there's a gray in there. I don't know if there's a blonde, but the pencil is light enough where you have control to build the color to where you need it to go in terms of intensity. And I think that's why, well, one of the reasons, but secondly, is I could just buy the refill if I run out, which is what I did. Bought sand again. So that's Mauve. Yeah, it's interesting. You could definitely detect the Mauve, but I kind of like that, especially if I wanted like a rose mauve eye. That is another video. Let's now go into, because we're already here, let's see how sand looks like. Or no, my apologies, brown, silly. We already know what sand looks like because I've worn that before. Let's now apply brown, which is #2. And now with this side, and of course, brown is probably more appropriate for me, for sure. It's not going to appear as contrasting in terms of the color. I was worried initially because I feel brown in brow products, not all, but some that I recently swatched leaned very warm. But I like how this brown is more neutral. And yes, probably more appropriate for me to wear in terms of my complexion and my brow hair color. And you could just see, because of the small pencil, how easy it is to sketch, but how precise you can be with how much brow pencil you want. It's just effortless in creating this brow shading that I feel looks great on photos, in person, on camera, and pretty much mistake proof, right? So here again is the Mauve. You could see that tinge of Mauve there. And the brown, I think, will be the most natural. Well, next to sand. I think sand looks pretty natural on me, in my opinion. Going in with this blush. Ooh, I cannot wait. Where are you, 105? Getting into it now. Using my Bobodo and Tuckahoe collab Nebula cheek brush. I'm going to start here on the center. Whip it down and around. Do we want to do one side 105 and the other side 104 just to see? That is beautiful. Wow. Wow. And you probably saw how the Mauve pencil looks with the blush. You know, what a wonderful pairing. Now with 104, which is again the deep coral and what I wore before, but you can see this takes on, as the description says, more of a coral hue. I love both, but I am just enamored by 105. I couldn't ask for a better tone red blush for my complexion. It's soft, but there's a little bit of vibrancy there where it doesn't overtake the cheeks and it's effortless to apply. Like, you don't have to worry about going haywire, where the red blush from Hourglass definitely has more of a berry tone and is a little more aggressive, I have to say. But this is for the deeper complected individuals who wanted, you know, more intensity in their color from the Hourglass lineup, which I completely understand. This color is right where I need it to be. And why I wanted Sakura Quartz, but it's all good because I was getting a little greedy. We can apply white opal just so you can see how that looks like with these blush shades. Why not? My apologies. I have just so many compacts here in front of me. Let me take my Red Canadian, Bobo, and Yoshiki collab brush and just tap. Now, I know white opal appears quite contrasting next to a color like Akanezome, but you know, this is the one I have. And this is the blush that came with the face and eye palette, which that highlighter is definitely warmer in undertone. So yes, it does look a little off. Maybe looks or pairs better with the deep coral, but Sakura Quartz would have been beautiful with this shade. I don't know, man. I just don't want to go back and pay $20 again for shipping. Now for number 11, let's get this on. And if you're wondering, what are you holding up? This is the refill, and you purchase the lipstick case separately for the Moisture Glaze lineup, just so you know. If it's your first time seeing this product, Suqqu wants to take more of a sustainable approach to their packaging, so you're not constantly rebuying entire components if you do finish a shade, or if you want to widen your collection, you don't have a bunch of these, but just the refills. And so you can see that in action. It clicks in. So this is actually number 6 from their original Moisture Glaze lineup. Here, let me do 6. This has like a deeper mauve brown undertone. So number 6 will give you a lot more color, but I love Urumicha just for its mauve brown tone, but it's definitely lighter and I think just beautiful on the lips. Now for number 12, compared to number 11, this definitely, I think this fares better for my complexion. I like number 11 because I thought it paired beautifully with this color blush, right? I thought like that desaturated mauve tone and having that monochromatic look on the face was just gorgeous. But I can see how this melts better or pairs better with blush shades such as these for sure. And last night, maybe it was hard for me to detect the color because I don't know, when I saw this on my bathroom light or under my bathroom lights in that mirror, I didn't quite detect the experience, if you will. This is a beautiful shade. It's definitely my lips, but better. A little bit of red, yes, but it's almost like it's beige, but red beige. Does that make any sense? It's a beautiful color. Wow, what a great one and done shade just to slap on. And again, the Moisture Glaze lipstick is one of my most favorite formulas thus far from any brand. I just think it's silky, smooth consistency, easy to apply. There's no fragrance, there's no weird taste to it. The range of shades are just gorgeous. And when they first dropped this line, I think back in January, the number of shades they had were just incredible. I have all of them because I just needed all of them. I asked Bae to buy me these Moisture Glaze lipsticks for my birthday. I thank him still to this day. And one of my most favorite lip products ever to have released. And the special edition shades that they have released thus far, I just think have been beautiful. And why I still have my eye on those recent holiday limited edition shades because of the chai color and that red brown color. I forgot what it was called. And it does have the sparkles in there, which you do feel. If you watch my original video, my apologies, I failed to mention how the sparkles feel with the Moisture Glaze formula, right? You do feel the sparkles, but they're not rough and they're not crummy on the lips. They're there. It's kind of like what you would feel in their lip gloss, not their lip wrapping treatment. That's an entirely different experience. The original gloss shades that maybe released, I don't know, 2022, I can't recall. You can still feel a little bit of grit, but fine grade grit, if that makes any sense. And I do love the plum shade from the holiday collection, but I still have my eye on those other two. But this one right here, I am thrilled I was able to grab number 12. I've had it on my radar ever since it dropped, and Suqqu does limit the amount of PR that they release because I think they have limited inventory to send to influencers, which I'm fine with. I had a hard time choosing between the two, but I like both. But I think number 12 is definitely more of my shade. It matches better with my complexion, with the blush shades. Ooh, we're doing good. And why not? Let me also swatch the winter shade, if I may. Winter 2024. This is in the Lip Fluid Fog, right? So completely different formula, but that's like a warm, toasty beige. Can you just see how beautiful that is? And this is what I have on now, number 12. So they're similar in undertone, and maybe that's why I adore number 12 so much, because I adore this Fluid Fog color in 109, also limited. This is one of my most favorite toasty beiges shades of all time that I have out of my entire collection. I gotta go back and explore again because, like you, or maybe not, I forget what I because of all these new shades and products. But this shade for sure, this one here, just glorious. In fact, I'm thinking how this would pair. Yes. Did I pick it up on the first go? Hallelujah. 2W from Lisa Eldridge. We're gonna put 2W on, okay? It matches, it matches. Oh, that's lovely. 2W with number 12, Akidoke is what it was called, is perfect. Is absolute. I'm gonna have to bring this with me to Bae's house. I mean, I have to wear this now over the weekend. It's a must, and I gotta bring this blush too. I'm thinking about Sakura Quartz, but I gotta calm down because I have the Gucci highlighter. I have the Hindash highlighter. The Hindash highlighter, you know what? Let me try that now. The Hindash highlighter should go well with this shade. Yes, let me just knock some more off. Hold on. This is why I need all my new makeup on standby, because I technically don't need Sakura Quartz for sure. Does it still look icy because I had residue from the brush? Probably. Let's try this again. I'm wiping this off. You can see it's pretty easy to wipe off because the Suqqu highlighter as well as the Hindash is on the drier side for that high reflectivity. But let me apply a little bit of LYS's skin tint here because we gotta reset, right? And then, okay, that doesn't look too bad. Going back in with a little bit of 105 just on the higher points here, so it doesn't look splotchy, all right? Now, making sure I wipe this brush well. You know, I love you, White Opal, but not now. I gotta see what Doll Dynasty is doing because I'm trying to convince myself that I don't need to buy Sakura Quartz. That's better. That's better. I actually like how it's not as icy as White Opal. It just has more of like a glassy neutral finish to the skin. And having Gucci's pink Opal will probably pair well with Akanezome, I think. And I have probably a highlight. I mean, here in the Hourglass palette, probably can't get away with placing the more coppery shades on my cheekbones, but I can place it here lower, right? I think that's a nice combination, especially with Akanezome, and I'll pull it along the borders of Hindash's Doll Dynasty and Suqq's blush. That's not bad. All right, brows are looking great. Love the blush color. I love everything I bought. Let me zoom out and continue talking. Hold on. I stumbled upon Liberty London's promotion because you can't go wrong with Suqqu. And I know they're not or everyone's favorite brand. I know there are other Japanese brands that are fantastic. This is just one of them. It's a luxury brand that historically with me, I found great experiences with. But especially their recent global holiday collection, like these cheek colors are just right up my alley. And the Moisture Glaze shades that released in the Miyabi collection that I think I dubbed one of my most favorite collections Suqqu has ever released. This is the Miyabi blush that I forgot to swatch at the beginning of the comparison portion of this video. What shade was this supposed to be? No problem. We'll go right back to the email and pull the shade description for number 05. Because if you have 05 and you're like, Alicia, yes, I remember this was quite a hefty release. No, my apologies. This is where the blurring blush formula first dropped for Suqqu. This was their premiere in the Miyabi collection. And I requested 05, the sepia pink and rich brown. Okay, here we go. Where can I swatch this so you can see compared to, you know what? Let me just bring her over here. It's fine. Okay, so definitely more red for 105. Definitely more pink compared to the winter collection. This is like between winter and maybe holiday for me, right? This was just a beautiful shade. It was like a neutral rose, I remember. Fantastic shade. I gotta bring this back in. But as I was saying, the recent run of blush shade releases from Suqqu have been phenomenal for me. This is my wheelhouse of blush shade. These are just all blush shades that I would wear, that I adore, and they have just nailed it in terms of the undertone and the nuance of color, the shade, everything. Like this, I can't get enough. I'm gonna wear this over the weekend, and I've been wearing blush over bare skin just to experiment and see if the presence of blush can distract from imperfections and blemishes that I have on my face. But I don't mind bringing along the LYS skin tint either. That's what I've been wearing actually, and combining it with Danessa Serum Skin Tint. That has to be my cocktail of choice for the last few days, which probably will dominate most of November. I haven't forgotten about Lisa's skin tint. I just have Danessa's on standby because the LYS TN3 is just where that's my complexion dead on. So the Danessa number 9 brings in a little bit more warmth so I don't look so pale, especially on the center of my face. I'll do the 9 on the perimeters. But all that to say, listen, if you want to participate in Liberty London's promo, I don't know if it's still going on. I think it might still be happening at the filming of this video. When it uploads, I'm not entirely sure, so I'm sorry in advance. But if you can ever catch Suqqu on sale, I think it'll be worth it. You gotta have to calculate the difference with the shipping and the tax added to it if you think it's worth the purchase and the time. But I do not regret these purchases. I love my brow shades, the new ones. I adore the new blush shade, the new Moisture Glaze shade. Now that I have 11 and 12, my life is complete. The other shade was like an icy pink. I think that might have been, actually, now that I am thinking about it, 11 and 12 are permanent shades, even though they were released in the Miyabi collection. The 103 Icy Pink was a limited shade because typically with Suqqu, the triple digit numbers indicate limited shades, whereas the double digits are the permanent. So that's probably why those two didn't sell out and why the limited edition shades from the holiday collection did. From Selfridges, or excuse me, Liberty London. But ooh, I still want them limited edition shades. I'll let you know how that goes. But all that to say, thank you for joining me on my, I guess, after the unboxing of checking out these new Suqqu products with me. I just had to share because if you are excited about Suqqu as I am, Black Friday deals are still starting to emerge, so who knows what we'll encounter, but I just wanted to share, knowing if you are enthusiastic about Suqqu as I am, I just had to kind of include you in on the fun. So thank you so much if you made it this far. Make sure you like this video, consider subscribing for more Suqqu moments, and click the notification bell so you'll know immediately when I drop a new video. If it's your first time watching, thank you for making it towards the end. I hope to see you again. And for those that keep watching, I appreciate you, friends. I'll see you all in those comments. And until then, take care.